Should do. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. It's been a long week.
We made it.
We made it.
Yes.
We're almost there, but it's kind of nasty outside.
Yeah,
it's just so
sticky
humid.
again,
It
right.
really is. We'll get to the weather in just a minute, but first, here's what's making news on this Friday. Derek Chauvin apologizes to the George Floyd family moments before a judge hands down his sentence before a tense courtroom.
Another sign the COVID pandemic is waning. Our Jamie Perez shows us what's happening at the Alliant Energy Center's testing site.
And holding on to hope while digging through devastation and debris. New video this afternoon shows the frantic search for survivors in Miami a day after a condo building collapsed. Let's take a look outside. Kind of misty this morning, and then the sun came out, but these guys don't care. They're going fishing.
Nice and calm. They're biting today.
They are. Plan for a wet weekend, though. Austin is here, and we're talking maybe really wet.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have plenty of rain chances for this weekend and even for this next week coming up. It's like we were in that drought phase for so long. We are still technically in that drought, but the rain just will not stop. Right now, we are in a dry period, currently 80 degrees in Madison. But what I want to point out here on this graphic behind me, dew points are at 70 degrees. Extremely high dew points for right now. That does not make it feel very nice. The actual temperatures aren't excessively hot, but with dew points reaching the lower 70s, it feels very muggy outside. Doppler track also showing some of those showers and weaker thunderstorms trying to develop here, especially in our southern part of our viewing area, right along that state border right now. But again, most of those are on the weaker side of things. Taking a peek at our temperatures, a lot of us have touched on those low 80s as of right now. But again, those dew points, not very pretty. We will see these dew points dropping a little bit, but it's going to remain on the muggier side of things here for much of this next week. That's going to add to those shower and storm chances as well. Evening planner does show that those temperatures only falling to the mid 70s by around 10 p.m. So expect it to stay very warm here throughout the rest of your evening. But also, we have something to talk about a little bit later on in the broadcast. We have issued an alert day for tomorrow. We are expecting heavy rainfall and a potential even for some severe weather. So make sure you do stay tuned. I'll have all the updates that you need to know coming up here in just a bit.
All right. Thank you, Austin. We'll check back in just a little bit. First at 4, the former police officer who killed George Floyd returned to court for sentencing today.
Derek Chauvin broke his silence, offering condolences to the Floyd family before the judge handed down the sentence, more than 22 years in prison. Michael George reports from Minneapolis.
I'm not going to attempt to be...
In a courtroom tense with anticipation, Derek Chauvin faced a judge to be sentenced for the murder of George Floyd.
The court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is a 10-year addition to the presumptive sentence of 150 months. This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd.
Before hearing his fate, Chauvin had a chance to address the court.
This time, due to some additional legal matters at hand, I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time. But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family.
The full extent of our pain.
Family members made statements on how the case has affected their lives since the day last year when Chauvin was captured on videotape kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes, ignoring his pleas for air.
I haven't had a real nice sleep because of the nightmares I constantly have hearing my brother beg and plead for his life over and over again.
Floyd's 7-year-old daughter, Gianna, spoke over video.
If you could say anything to your daddy right now, what would it be?
It would be, I miss you and I love you.
Chauvin was found guilty of murder in April. Since then, the judges considered sentencing arguments from both sides, as well as victim impact statements and an investigation into Chauvin's past. Chauvin's mother addressed the court and her son directly.
Remember, there is no stronger bond or love than a mother's love.
Chauvin has been held in a maximum security prison since his conviction, segregated from other inmates for security reasons. With good behavior, he'll likely serve 2/3 of his sentence behind bars and the rest on parole. Michael George, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And Chauvin is expected to appeal and still faces federal civil rights charges for Floyd's death.
We've also been monitoring the situation in Miami, Florida. Rescue and search teams are digging through twisted steel and concrete right now, searching for any signs of life after a condo collapsed yesterday. You can see them filling buckets of debris. At least 159 people are still missing. 4 people are dead, with search crews finding their bodies overnight. Investigators are still trying to figure out how this happened, and families are desperate to find their loved ones.
I think I'm trying to brace myself for the worst and the best, and it's really hard. Just not knowing is just the worst part.
I was there every day on the week, and I was there 4 hours before the collapsing.
37 people have been rescued as of this afternoon. The majority of them, including a 12-year-old boy, were found in the part of the building that is still standing. This condo complex is 12 stories tall and had 136 units. 55 of those units were involved in the collapse. The 40-year-old building was undergoing routine inspection. One professor from Florida said the land that the condo was built on had been sinking for decades, but could not say what role this may have played in the collapse. Search operations are very dangerous for first responders. They're using extremely heavy equipment and trying to reach the base of the building through an underground parking lot.
Just this afternoon, President Biden addressed the situation in Florida. He used his remarks to assure the victims and Floridians that the White House is sending help. Biden also approved an emergency declaration earlier today, which gives FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security the power to coordinate disaster relief efforts. As families wait at this building for updates on their missing loved ones, there are ways you can support them from miles away. The American Red Cross is helping displaced residents find safe places. And World Central Kitchen is also serving hot meals to rescue crews and victims. Both are seeking online donations through their verified social media accounts.
And we want to take a moment to share this photo with you. It shows a young boy, his name is David, handing out candy and soda to first responders.
Miami city officials say they are not giving up and are holding out hope they'll find people buried in the rubble. We'll share any updates we get on air on News 3 Now at 5, and we're also sharing updates on channel3000.com all day long.
In other news tonight, it's another sign that things are moving forward. Tomorrow is the final day for Madison's community COVID testing site at the Alliant Energy Center.
We've spent months highlighting the work of public health officials. It's hard to forget the long lines outside the building this past fall. Since opening the site, they've administered more than 425,000 tests and provided 85,000 vaccines to those stopping by. And now they're reflecting on the work they've done.
Staff there say things are bittersweet. Jamie Perez is live at the Alliant Center now with their thoughts on this journey. Jamie?
Right, well, the fact that they're closing up shop now is a good sign of where we're at and how far we've come. A lot of the folks who have been here since October, just remember those times, there were long lines of people, hours long, that people were waiting in those lines. Now, instead of seeing thousands of people drive through every day, they're seeing maybe a couple hundred, something they said is a good indication of the progress we've made.
The amount of work that has gone into getting all these folks through here for testing and vaccines has really been something that's amazing to reflect back on, to know that we've been able to make a big difference in Dane County.
Now, just because this site is ending in the testing and vaccine services doesn't mean that they are discontinuing those altogether. Here are a list of some places that you can still go even after the Alliant Energy Center closes up tomorrow. This list is also online at channel3000.com. And tonight at 5, I'll share some of the stories that they shared with me of some of their worst days and some of their best days yet.
We'll see you at 5. Jamie, thank you. The mass vaccination site at the United Center in Chicago is now closed. The last vaccination was given out yesterday. The city of Chicago, like many urban centers, is moving away from a larger mass vaccination site strategy to a more local approach to target populations that haven't been vaccinated.
Vice President Kamala Harris flew to El Paso, Texas today for a tour of the southern border. The trip was 90 days in the making, a timeline the vice president defended today, but it is her first since taking office. Harris says her focus is discovering what is driving migration from Central America. She met privately with some of the more than 15,000 migrant children who are still in U.S. custody.
This issue cannot be reduced to a political issue. We're talking about children, we're talking about families, we're talking about suffering, and our approach has to be thoughtful and effective.
After delaying more than 3 months, Vice President Harris is finally headed to the border today. We're excited about that.
The vice president's border trip is not without controversy as Republicans have criticized her for not going sooner. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says President Biden's decisions to repeal Trump administration policies have opened the border. Next week, several House Republicans will join former President Donald Trump on a tour of the border.
Manhattan prosecutors have warned Donald Trump's business company it could soon face criminal charges stemming from a long-running investigation into the former president's business dealings. The New York Times is reporting the charges could be filed against the Trump Organization as early as next week. It's related to fringe benefits the company gave to top executives, such as the use of apartments.
Encouragement today for you to buy local next week. Dane Buy Local and business owners held what they called an Independence Week kickoff event today at a gift shop in Verona. Dane Buy Local the executive director says after a difficult 15 months, next week is an opportunity to celebrate the work of local entrepreneurs. The owner of the gift shop, which is having its grand opening tomorrow morning at its new location, is grateful for the help that they've received.
I'm very thankful for my VAP Facebook group and grants from Dane Buy Local and the city and Chamber of Commerce for a huge support during this pandemic time. Without them, we cannot be here. We'll be closing our business.
Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says the county has invested more than $29 million in its small business pandemic support grant program.
Best of luck to her. Well, June is National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month.
When we come back, we'll find out just how common migraines are and what research is being done to help treat them. That's when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Taco night is heartburn you can plan for, but surprise pizza means heartburn you didn't expect. New Zantac 360 Degrees contains the #1 doctor-recommended medicine approved to both prevent and relieve heartburn and works in as little as 15 minutes. New Zantac 360.
A nursing home promises to care for our parents as cherished loved ones. But if your parents have been injured in a nursing home, we can help. Habish, Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
I may have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis
or psoriatic arthritis,
but we are so much more. We're team players and artists,
designers and do-it-yourselfers, parents and friends.
If joint pain is getting in the way of who you are, it's time to talk to your doctor about Enbrel. Enbrel helps relieve joint pain and helps stop permanent joint damage.
Plus, Enbrel helps skin get clearer in psoriatic arthritis. Ask your doctor about Enbrel so you can get back to your true self.
Play ball!
Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu. Visit Enbrel.com to see how your joint damage could progress. Enbrel. Eligible patients may pay as little as $5 per month.
Why hide your skin if Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control?
Hide my skin? Not me.
By hitting eczema where it counts, Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of eczema. And that means long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief for adults.
Hide my skin? Not me.
By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can show more with less eczema. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can change how your skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice. Talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Welcome back, everybody. You are about to take a look. Are we taking a look?
I don't know.
There we go. We're taking a look at New York's iconic Stonewall Inn, where the modern gay rights movement began.
Pride Month started in 1969 with a protest against police brutality inside this building. Now some activists say Pride has since turned into a corporate branded party.
Famie Redwood shares their concerns.
Take a walk down one of Manhattan's busiest shopping streets and you'll see a lot of companies celebrating and selling pride. But LGBTQ shoppers we spoke to say it often seems disingenuous.
And I feel like they want to jump on the bandwagon so they can profit out of it, but it's not they're really doing anything for the community in itself.
The merchandising has been dubbed rainbow capitalism.
We're talking about a marginalized community here. And so you have to support the community outside of marketing to the community during Pride Month.
Activist Jay Walker with Reclaim Pride Coalition would like to see big business take a back seat during Pride Month.
They have taken that corporate presence to the nth degree, to the point that it overshadows the members of the community and overshadows the fact that we are still fighting for our rights.
A recent investigation by the political newsletter Popular Information found at least 25 major corporations that participate in Pride events or sell Pride products give money to lawmakers supporting anti-LGBTQ policies. The advocacy group GLAAD says companies profiting from the queer community should join the movement.
Businesses have to put their money where their mouth is, and that means speaking up against the over 200 anti-LGBTQ bills that have been proposed.
While activists try to find the right balance, NYC Pride organizers say corporations have helped push LGBTQ rights forward.
In the 90s, corporations were the first to actually support domestic partner benefits before any state did.
Now with Pride merch everywhere, activists hope consumers will hold the companies selling it to a higher standard. Famie Redwood, CBS News, New York.
Well, here's something that you may notice during your next trip to the grocery store. Aunt Jemima pancake mix and syrups are being phased out of stores, and its replacement brand is Pearl Milling Company. It keeps the same red and yellow color scheme. The old brand will still be referenced on the new packaging. Quaker Oats made the decision to retire its brand earlier this year, acknowledging that its origins are based on a racial stereotype.
The aviation industry is being encouraged to adopt gender-neutral language. One change would be saying uncrewed instead of unmanned. This comes as commercial airlines are trying to entice more women to fly. According to the FAA, less than 9% of all pilots are women. Stocks added to record levels as optimism mounted over an infrastructure deal. The Dow Industrials added 237 points, ending the week at 34,433. The NASDAQ fell 9 points, but the S&P 500 gained 14 for a record-setting close. Well, June is National Migraine and Headache Awareness Month.
Migraines affect more than 40 million people in the United States, and they are the #2 cause of disability worldwide. Dr. Ala Abdel Saeed is a professor of anesthesiology at UW Health and the medical director of the UW Health Pain Management Clinic. Dr. Ala, good to see you. Welcome back to Live at 4.
Good to see you again virtually.
Yes, well, soon you'll be back in the studio.
I can't wait for it.
This is a pervasive problem. What is the difference between a headache and a migraine?
So there are several types of headaches. Migraine is probably the one I would say we hear about more. It's more popular. But there are two other big types of headache, like tension headache. So migraine headache basically is this acute episode that happens usually one side of the head. Can be on both sides, but usually on one side. It can be associated with other symptoms, can be preceded and actually followed by other also neurological symptoms. The tension headache is the headache that takes all around the head, like in a band, like lasts for longer durations, more chronic. happens more days. And the cluster headache is the headache that's more localized around the eye region, causing congestion, watering of the eye. So these are the biggest three classes of headache, and there are many other types of headaches.
Well, do we know what causes migraines?
Can you repeat the question?
Do we know what causes migraine headaches?
It's not totally understood, but there are several mechanisms that propose that hyperexcitability of the brain, abnormalities of pain pathways can cause those attacks.
Can stress bring them on?
Stress and anxiety are two big ones to cause migraine headaches.
So how do we treat them? What can you do about them?
There are several ways to treat them, as we always like to start with non-invasive methods or non-pharmacological methods. For example, avoiding triggers if we know there are triggers that bring on the headaches. Cognitive behavioral therapy, reducing the stress and anxiety. If those measures do not work, then we start with medications. And there are several types of medications. Some of them are used, we call them preventive. So they are used on chronic basis. Patients take them on daily basis to avoid the occurrence of the headache. And there are abortive and rescue medications, which the patient can take when the headache occurs. Try to abort the headache so it doesn't keep going and be severe. And then we have the botulinum toxin A injections to follow if medications do not work. Also, we have a procedure we noveled here at UW, where we do nerve blocks and radio frequency ablation of certain nerves to block kind of the transmission and reduce the headache intensity and the frequency. And, at the end, there are implantable devices and surgical interventions to treat the headache for patients who are resistant to everything I just mentioned.
Do you ever use light therapy with migraines?
Yes, it can be used with migraines. As I mentioned, there are many triggers also for migraines that we need to avoid, and light therapy has been used. Many other therapies that are non-pharmacologic has been proven to be effective.
Well, June being Migraine Awareness and Headache Month, it's a good time to take a look at this and talk to your doctor if you're having problems.
I agree. It's headache is very disabling. I see a lot of patients in headache, and it's very disabling and can cause many consequences of depression, lack of social life, and can impact work and cause disability. So definitely treatment is very important.
Absolutely.
Dr. Abdel Saeed, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you again soon.
Again, thanks for having me, and hopefully to see you soon in person.
All right, absolutely, Doctor. Thank you.
Right.
The Colosseum in Rome draws millions of visitors a year, and now for the first time ever, tourists can tour the tunnels and caves under the stage.
We'll take you on a tour of this historic and bloody arena coming up after Austin's First Warn forecast.
4 days only. Save an extra $700 on these top appliance brands exclusively at the Grand Appliance Buy More, Save More sale. Get great deals on thousands of in-stock appliances, including this Bosch Ultra Quiet dishwasher for just $5.98, or this 26 cubic foot LG side-by-side refrigerator just $9.98. Visit your local Grand showroom or grandappliance.com to save today. Grand Appliance. You make it home, we make it grand.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. And in a clinical study, after just 1 day, 90% felt powerful 24-hour relief. So, be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Finding the right ingredients for a healthy lifestyle can be tricky. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are here to help.
Our Time for Kids recipe for health experts use online conversations and on-air reports to answer your health questions.
So tell us, what topics would your family like to hear about? What questions do you have?
Use the handy feedback form on our Time for Kids page to share what matters most to your family's health. And together,
let's take time for kids.
Cabinet, handled. Air, conditioned. Lawn, mowed. Get started on your next home project at Angie.com or download the Angie mobile app today. Make your home an Angie home. Angie, and done.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand, and people are taking it everywhere. Taking Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with Silverado. Whatever you do, there's a perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy and get 0% financing for 72 months on select popular Chevy SUVs. Or get a $3,000 cash allowance on all 2021 Silverado Crew Cab pickups.
For Deb, living with constipation with belly pain was the same old story for years. Trying this, doing that, spending countless days right here. Still came the belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Awful feelings she kept sugarcoating. Finally, with the help of her doctor, it came to be that her symptoms were all signs of IBS-C. And that's why she said yes to adding Linzess. Linzess is not a laxative. It helps you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and is proven to help relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Could your story also be about IBS-C? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess.
Take a look at this.
Can you hand me some crackers? Please. And thank you.
What was in there?
The look on Zoe's face after this epic prank says it all. Let's take another look. Gabby sets it up by hiding a speaker in the cabinet. She decides it's the perfect time since he's super jumpy after watching a horror movie with her the night before. As Zoe reaches for a snack, she plays the woman screaming. He's so scared, he rips the cabinet door off the hinges, even breaks the other door as he falls to the floor. He's not happy.
That's pretty funny.
He's not happy. If anybody did this to me,
I do the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, they're one of the favorite parts of Madison's food scene, which is why we're celebrating National Food Truck Day.
The day is always celebrated on the final Friday in June. Madison has dozens of food carts. You can often find them on Library Mall, and a few will be at the Farmers Market tomorrow around the Capitol Square. Owners say they're excited for a busy summer season.
Now more than ever, it's important to support local business. They didn't have the same cushions in place during the coronavirus pandemic that everybody else had. So it's really nice to help them get back on their feet.
Madison Magazine, our sister company, put together a food cart preview for this year. Be sure to read all about it. It's titled Where to Get Your Mobile Eats online on channel3000.com.
And Austin, you might want to grab an umbrella before you go to a food cart tomorrow.
Yeah, good call. We're going to expect plenty of rain chances for this weekend and even for much of this next week. But tomorrow, it stands out. It's an alert day, so find out why and what we're watching out for. That's coming up next.
Enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the 2021 Volkswagen Tiguan has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Come into your Volkswagen dealer and get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2021 Tiguan S4 Motion or lease one for just $279 per month.
You've been taking mental health meds and your mind is finally in a better place. Except now you have uncontrollable body movements called tardive dyskinesia, TD. And it can seem like that's all people see. Some meds for mental health can cause abnormal dopamine signaling in the brain. While how it works is not fully understood, Ingrezza is thought to reduce that signaling.
Ingrezza is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with TD movements in the face and body. People taking Ingrezza can stay on their current dose of most mental health meds. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects, including sleepiness. Don't drive, operate heavy machinery, or do other dangerous activities until you know how Ingrezza affects you. Other serious side effects include potential heart rhythm problems and abnormal movements.
Shift the focus more on you. Ask your doctor about Ingrezza. It's simple. One pill, once daily. #1 prescribed for TD. Learn how you could pay as little as $0 at Ingrezza.com.
Your pipes need to loosen up. Your furnace needs to chill out. No more Freon for your AC. You don't need a working ceiling fan. Nothing can stop me from causing problems in your home. Oh no, the homeowner's called Action Man and his action team.
That's right, Pesky. Your problems are plunged.
Call on Action Plumbing, Heating, and Electric at iwantaction.now.com.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
It's nice to know your blind spot can be protected. Blind Spot Monitor, standard on all 2021 Volkswagen SUVs, unlike all Honda or Subaru SUVs. Come into your Volkswagen dealer and get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2021 Tiguan S4 Motion, or lease one for just $279 per month.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back. We have quite a bit to talk about with our forecast for today. A lot of chances for some rain showers. Temperatures, they're going to stay very consistent here over these next 7 to 10 days with the upper 70s and low 80s. Take a peek outside at our WISC TV Skycam. We're starting to see some showers and thunderstorms developing down south, but some of them are creeping up a little bit farther north. Taking a peek here at our Doppler track right now, starting to see some shower activity popping up even around the Madison area, especially on the eastern side of Madison. As of right now, not seeing any thunder and lightning with this, but that could change. We could still potentially see a weaker thunderstorm here, especially in Dane County and farther up north. Some of our southernmost communities, they have a better chance to actually see a stronger storm developing, but taking a closer peek right now, we're not really seeing that. Quite a few showers and maybe even some weaker thunderstorms with some thunder and lightning here and there, but no strong to severe storms as of right now. There is still that potential again for our southern communities to actually see that, because you take a peek here, we have that marginal risk for severe weather here for the rest of this evening and into the early nighttime hours. Tomorrow, it does look like that marginal risk expanded, and now it's over all of us. So get ready for that. We do have to keep our eyes to the sky for tomorrow. There is that slim potential to see a strong to even severe thunderstorm. Now, we have issued that alert day for tomorrow. Our main thing that we're watching out for, it's actually going to be a potential for excessive rainfall. Heavy rainfall is a possibility. That could lead to some isolated flooding in some spots here and there. Also, high winds, large hail, and a possibility of an isolated tornado, but the strong to severe storms, we're not expecting many of them, just the possibility of one or two of those to pop up. Now, in terms of timing, tomorrow, there's not really going to be a best time to get outdoors. You look at its future track for tonight, some of those showers and thunderstorms begin to move through, and then you see some more for tomorrow morning. Off and on showers, there will still be plenty of dry periods during the day tomorrow, but you have that chance for a shower or a thunderstorm for most of the daytime hours. By the time we move to Sunday, we're looking at much of the same, but a little bit less of an actual chance to see those showers and storms. Notice how more of the day looks to be dry with just a few scattered showers and storms here and there. Rain chances will drop off after tomorrow, but really not too much. Sunday's still looking at now a 50% chance, 40% chance afterwards, and then for the following weekend, that finally does drop off. Now, we're still in that moderate drought phase. We need some of these showers and storms. Hopefully, we can see a little bit less of the storms and a little bit more of the showers. Temperatures currently in those upper 70s and low 80s. Temperatures would feel pretty nice if we didn't have the dew points that we're looking at, but these temperatures that we're seeing, they're generally going to stick around for these next 10 days. Then you take a look at the dew points. Doesn't feel very great outside with dew points actually in the 70s as of right now. But our wind speeds are also pretty low for most of us. Where we are seeing some of that shower and storm activity down towards Monroe, it's still about 14 miles per hour. Now, your weekend forecast shows those lower 80s and upper 70s here for the weekend, but scattered showers on both days. A possibility for some thunderstorms as well. Again, we have issued that alert day for tomorrow. Main threat that we're watching out for is a potential for excessive rainfall, but we're also watching out for a possibility for some strong to severe storms. And then these temperatures not moving very much, but the rain chances, they're also not going anywhere either. We have plenty of those throughout this next work week.
Indoor weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a generally indoor weekend. We were talking about golfing earlier, and it's not going to be the best time here. I would say Sunday would be your best bet to get outside, though.
Keep an eye on the radar, though.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thank you, Austin. For the first time ever, visitors will have access to the heart of the Colosseum in Rome.
Starting today, people can explore the tunnels and chambers where gladiators and wild animals prepared for battle. Chris Livesey takes a step back in history.
As a theater in the round, the Coliseum had no backstage. Instead, as Russell Crowe's character in Gladiator found out the hard way, it had an understage, teeming with surprises.
You can imagine, how astonishing it could be for public and also for the animal.
Like a jack-in-the-box.
Yeah.
And now, the Coliseum is allowing visitors inside the deepest depths of this layer known as the hypogeum. And it's been a while. It hasn't raised the curtain since the year 523, says technical director Barbara Nazaro.
More or less 1,800 people could work here in the backstage. So just imagine to keep alive a hippo.
There were hippos here?
Yes, of course. And they just
You can still see the small arches that hoisted the greatest special effects the world had ever seen.
It was a very, very beautiful show.
But a very bloody show, too, no?
Everything was bloody.
And not just for gladiators. Even convicts were forced to perform classical theater, then eaten alive by wild animals when the scene called for it.
This is a marvelous work of architecture, but it's also the monument of our civilization, how we are changed.
Now accessible like never before thanks to the latest phase of a $30 million restoration paid for by Diego Della Valle, the owner of Italian luxury shoe company Tod's.
Now, this is beautiful. What is this?
It was our first factory, my grandfather's factory.
So from this to all this to the Colosseum.
This is Italy. It's not only when you see bags or when you see a pair of expensive shoes. It's an attitude for the Italian people.
Such a colossal restoration, he says, shows Italians today can still accomplish great things.
Gonna have to go back and check it out.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Well, coming up next on News 3 at 5, an emotional day, an emotional afternoon in Rock County Court as a man accused of killing an elderly woman is formally charged. And authorities are calling this an extremely violent case.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, there's a medicine specifically made for heart failure, Entresto. It's a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. Entresto was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
A great night's sleep starts on a new mattress from Steinhoffels. We are excited to introduce the Serta Perfect Sleeper to our collection of mattresses. And right now, get a free box spring with any Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress. Or upgrade to a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhoffels cash. Plus, save up to $800 on Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Only at Steinhoffels and Steinhoffels.com.
If you have risk factors like heart disease, diabetes, and raised triglycerides, Vasipa can give you something to celebrate. Vasipa, when added to your statin, is clinically proven to provide 25% lower risk from heart attack and stroke. Vasipa is clearly different. First and only FDA approved. Celebrate less risk, even for those with family history. Don't take Vasipa if you are or become allergic to icosapent ethyl or any inactive ingredient in Vasipa. Serious side effects may occur, like heart rhythm problems and bleeding. Heart rhythm problems may occur in more people with persistent cardiovascular risk or who have had them in the past. Tell your doctor if you experience an irregular heartbeat or other heart rhythm problems. Possible side effects include muscle and joint pain. Celebrate less risk. Added cardio protection. Talk to your doctor about added protection with Visipa.
Tonight at 5, tomorrow is the last day you can get a COVID vaccine at the Alliant Energy Center. How operations have helped out the community for over a year at 5.
Showers and thunderstorms are likely through the weekend. Some of the storms could produce heavy rainfall, and there's a small chance of severe weather tomorrow. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, why the former Milwaukee police chief could soon be getting his job back just months after he was demoted. We'll have that story for you tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. The original The Fast and the Furious debuted 20 years ago this week. Can you believe it's been that long after being delayed by the pandemic?
And the latest movie, the Fast Saga, arrives in theaters this weekend. Rick Damigella has a preview.
The world has a way of changing.
After being delayed more than a year by the pandemic, F9, The Fast Saga, rides into theaters.
There are moments that separate us, but we always come back together.
It not only feels good to get it in front of audiences, it feels good to see something called an audience. It's been a year and we didn't realize that everything could be taken away from us. Even something as simple or something we took for granted, which was being able to see movies with the community, with a group, with an audience.
Listen, you never know how much you miss something until it's almost taken away from you. And I'm just happy to be a part of a franchise that is making moviegoers around the world come back to the theater, man. It feels so great to be a part of that.
So how do y'all want to play this?
Fast.
We've gone. F9 brings back familiar faces and introduces new ones.
Well, Han's older. You know, his priorities and his purpose in life is different now.
We introduced a very new, important role. Jacob, John Cena, he's our brother, and so that's a huge surprise. And it was also really cool because that then enabled me to go further back into our backstory and learn so much about the Toretto family.
Brother against brother. This should be interesting.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Can't wait to see that.
They're really good, yeah.
Well, it's a celebration of leadership honoring high school seniors in the LGBTQ communities.
When we come back, we'll get a preview of the annual awards banquet as we go behind the screens with Michael Bruno when Live at 4 continues.
Ashley Home Store Stars and Stripes holiday sale starts now. Get up to 60% off holiday doorbusters. Pay as little as $25 a month for complete rooms you'll love with no interest financing for 5 years. Plus, take a bonus 5% off our sale prices at checkout. Ashley Home Store.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need. And we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Living longer is possible and proven with Kisqali when taken with a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor in premenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
What a deal! Get top dollar for your trade now at East Madison Toyota during the summer buyback event. Bring us any make, any model, and get top dollar for your trade. If it runs, we've got the funds during the summer buyback event at East Madison Toyota. Plus, we've just received 8 truckloads of inventory with a great selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs at East Madison Toyota off I-90 and 151.
They say when you come from a small town like us,
do things your own way. That's why U.S. Cellular doesn't have any hidden requirements. So you can get the latest phone with no activation fees, required phone trade-ins, or anything like that. That's all there is to it.
Get a Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. The nationwide network built from your town up. U.S. Cellular.
The Summer of Sleep mattress sale starts now at Ashley Home Store. Save up to $800 instantly on the best brands. Pay as little as $20 a month for luxury mattresses like these, plus a free adjustable base or free furniture with purchase. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Well, don't adjust your TV set. You are not seeing triple. Instead, you're seeing triplets who are all expecting at the same time. The Tran triplets of Irvine, California were born just minutes apart, and now thanks to the pandemic baby boom and a little careful planning, all three are on track to become moms over the next several months. And what's more, the triplets delivering will even out the family's number of nieces and nephews. The three girls are having three boys.
Oh, wow. But they did plan it.
They did plan it, yes.
Oh, that's still great.
Well, the organization G-Safe helps make schools safe for students in the LGBTQ plus community.
And tomorrow night, they're holding their 25th annual celebration of leadership. We go behind the screens with Michael Bruno to find out more about the group and tomorrow's big show.
So G-Safe, we're a Madison-based organization, but we really work statewide with students, educators, and community members to make sure our schools are safe and affirming for our LGBTQ plus students. We've actually been doing work in Wisconsin for 25 years, so we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. And so tomorrow's event is our 25th celebration of leadership. While there's been so much progress made over the past 25 years, you know, just this past month or so, we've seen a lot of attacks on our students, particularly our trans and non-binary students. And of course, our Black and brown students, our students of color, continue to not be safe and affirmed at school. And so this is just, you know, the work that we do as an organization, creating spaces, developing student leadership, and really helping educators learn how to create those schools where LGBT students feel like they're not only included, but valuable and capable and affirmed. It's just critically important, and it's great to be able to do the work with schools across the state.
And now, is G-Safe just in high schools, or is it in multiple different levels of school?
We actually work with students across the K-12 level. So the majority of our student clubs that we work with are at the high school and middle school level. But really, we do work with students and educators across the K-12 spectrum.
I found out I was getting the scholarship a couple of weeks before my high school graduation at the end of May, and I had applied months in advance. And until then, when I was searching for scholarships, I didn't know too much about G-Safe. I was mostly involved in local CLARE initiatives, but it was nice to find out that there was a Wisconsin-wide organization that helps support education, and I enjoy and I love what G-Safe does.
Do you have plans now that you're a high school graduate? What's next for you?
For me, it's going to UW Stout to study mechanical engineering and then transferring to a German university to study robotics, because I always love robotics, and also I minor in phonetics and different languages.
Accomplished young man.
Amazing. I mean, really smart and wonderful people. I'm so glad that they're honoring people like that. They're really supporting and really helping schools that really need support for people that are in the community.
And most vulnerable.
Right, exactly. They're susceptible to bullying. Yeah. They're outcasting sometimes. So it's really nice to have your own peer group doing things within your high school, especially when times are hard enough to be in high school, to have support like that. And G-Safe is wonderful for that, being that organization that really does speak to that.
It's not just for LGBTQ students.
It started out that way.
It did start out that way. Now it's a statewide organization, and there's also a national organization. And now they're having their 25th anniversary for their big gala event tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Wonderful. It's tomorrow night at Monona Terrace on the rooftop, weather permitting. It's 5 to 9:30. Tickets are gsafe2021.givesmart.com. All right,
the weather holds.
3, 2, 1.
It's Friday!
Play the part of Jim. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Michael. Have a good weekend.
See you next week.
Okay.
He'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
I'm so glad you're okay, Sergeant Houston. This is Sam with USAA. Do you see the tow truck?
Yes, thank you. That was fast.
Sergeant Houston never expected this to happen, or that her grandpa's dog tags would be left behind. But that one call got her a tow and rental, paid her claim, and we even pulled a few strings, making it easy to make things right. That's what we're made for. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. Get a quote today.
Dad, I got a job. I'm moving out.
Dream sequence ending in 3, 2,
Keep packing.
1.
Here at TSR, we turn old, cracked garage floors like this into beautiful, tough floors like this in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and we design high-quality, beautiful floors that can stand up to the toughest of applications. Our coatings are easily able to withstand heavy traffic, drop tools, and they're ridiculously easy to clean. We are dedicated to superior customer service, which doesn't just stop after the installation. We also provide you with an exclusive warranty on all of our floor coatings that gives you the peace of mind knowing that your stunning new floor is protected for life. Visit the website or call the number below for your new floor today.
Saturday morning, it's an end to an era. It's the last day to get your COVID shot at the Alliant Energy Center. Plus, Austin is checking our weekend forecast and when we could see another chance of rain.
A family's trip canceled due to COVID. Now, a local senior could be out $15,000 in airfare.
I'd like to get the money back.
Leah Lynchide gives you crucial booking tips to avoid airline woes. Call for action. Monday on News 3 now at 10.
And welcome back. One more peek here at our Doppler track radar. We are starting to see some of these showers and even a possibility of some weaker thunderstorms right here in Dane County, the Madison area, starting to see even a little bit of a heavy downpour here and there. And again, for tomorrow, we do have an alert day in effect. Now, that's because we do have a marginal risk for severe weather, but that's also not our main concern as of right now. We are expecting a possibility for some heavy rainfall at times. Some heavy downpours are a possibility. Isolated severe thunderstorm is also possible. That's why we do have that marginal risk for severe weather. High winds, hail, and an isolated tornado, all possible. Not very likely as of right now. The main concern that we are looking for, again, it is going to be the possibility of heavy downpours that could lead to isolated flooding tomorrow.
All right, Austin, thank you. Monday on Live at 4, we'll help you master your barbecue skills with the help of a UW meat scientist.
And our movie scientist, Will Loper, will have the rundown on all the new movies and streaming shows. That's coming up Monday on Live at 4.
Up here, success depends on the choices you make. But I know I've got this. And when it comes to controlling his type 2 diabetes, my dad's got this too.
With the right choices, you have it in you to control your A1C, and once weekly Trulicity may help. Most people taking Trulicity reached an A1C under 7%, and it starts lowering blood sugar from the first dose by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
4 days only. Shop the Buy More, Save More sale at Grand Appliance for unbeatable prices. Thousands of in-stock appliance options and up to $700 in additional savings available exclusively at Grand. Get great deals like this Amana top-load washer for just $4.98 or this Frigidaire 4-piece stainless steel package just $19.92. Visit your local Grand showroom or grandappliance.com to save today. Grand Appliance, the appliance expert since 1930.
Up here, success depends on the choices you make. But I know I've got this. And when it comes to controlling his type 2 diabetes, my dad's got this too.
With the right choices, you have it in you to control your A1C, and once weekly Trulicity may help. Most people taking Trulicity reached an A1C under 7%, and it starts lowering blood sugar from the first dose by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
Well, it's time to cue up this week's edition of the News Hounds, and you know it's a good one when we have not one, but two hippo stories.
Here's Louie and Oliver with this week's edition of the News Hounds.
Here's the News Hounds, Louie and Oliver, with their World News Roundup.
This week on the News Hounds, a Fiona update.
How about some ear wiggles?
And an endangered species gets some great news.
But first, a critically endangered lemur species went on display at the Cologne Zoo in Germany. Ziga and Justa are cockerel siphacus, delicate leaf eaters from the forests of Madagascar. The pair came to Cologne from the Duke Lemur Center in the U.S. at the end of May, and other siphacus from the center have found new homes in the U.K. and the Berlin Zoo. The goal is to establish a conservation program for the endangered species with all of the zoos involved. There are only a few hundred of these lemurs left in the wild.
There are 5 new residents at Mexico City Zoo, and they are most welcome. A litter of 5 Mexican wolves are now on display there. The 5 young ones are the second litter for Seijay and Rai, a 9-year-old female and 7-year-old male. Wolf cubs are born blind and deaf, so they spend most of their first few months of life inside their den, with brief trips outside that get longer as they develop. The Mexican wolf, a subspecies of the gray wolf, were hunted to almost extinction until the 1970s. In 2020, the efforts of the Species Conservation Action Program succeeded in upgrading the Mexican wolf from probably extinct in the wild to endangered. These 5 cubs are a big step forward to raising those numbers.
It's time for a Fiona the Hippo update. It turns out she's not a fan of bubbles. The Cincinnati Zoo's 3-year-old hippopotamus was quick to run away when a zookeeper blew bubbles at her this month. Of course, we've been following Fiona since her birth. Here she is cuddling with Mom last year, and here she is picking a Super Bowl winner 2 years ago. So cute, but don't bring on the bubbles.
And finally, zookeepers filmed Hippo Emma performing ear wiggles at the hippo habitat at the San Diego Zoo. A slow-motion video